Hi fam! So by the title of this video, we missed another week, but it's only been a week between videos. What happened? Jeff and I went to our doctor's appointment on Saturday right after I finished filming that 20-week vlog, and our new doctor told us that the ultrasounds and everything, all the medical tests and stuff, are saying that our baby is actually in the 22-week bracket. So he's going to be 23 weeks tomorrow instead of 22 weeks like we thought he was going to be. So our due date has moved up a week, but that doesn't really mean anything because as a first-time pregnancy, he's probably going to be late anyways. So sometime middle March will we be having this child. But the cool thing is we missed a whole week of pregnancy. Kind of cool, I guess. Like, yay, less pregnancy to go through. Oh, more things that I should have done last week, kind of thing. So that's where we are. So we are just finishing week 22. We have 17 more weeks to go. Or yeah, 17 more weeks to go. It's crazy how fast this is going. Okay, so baby last week was forming wrinkles on his skin and his brain. The wrinkles on the brain are to help it have more surface area for nerves so that it can have more intelligence. And the wrinkles on the skin was so that when baby starts becoming a chub in the next few weeks, he'll have room to actually place that fat. He was about a foot long and about a pound heavy and is kicking constantly. Every 2 hours he likes to let me know that he is doing great. And it's fun most of the time. Only when he stretches does it really hurt. Okay, so symptoms. Mostly all the same. It hasn't really changed, so I'll go over them really quickly. Aches. I'm having a lot of round ligament pain again, and I think that's just because I'm growing. I'm also having joint aches like I was before. I'm hungry all the time, constantly hungry, and tired and heartburn. And I asked Jeff what kind of symptoms he's seen, and he says I'm very forgetful. And I would agree. I completely am forgetful all the time now. I cannot keep a single thought in my head without writing it down. Cravings. I don't really have any cravings anymore. I'm not really craving anything. So when we went to the doctor said that I had gained about 8 pounds overall for this pregnancy, which is really good. It means that I'm on track and that I'm not blowing up like I thought it was going to. So that's really good, and it's comforting because I haven't really been checking or modifying what I eat or what I look at, and I'm not really counting calories to make sure that I'm doing properly. So it was just a really good feeling to know that baby and my body are kind of handling that for me, that I don't really have to limit myself to keep within weight. But she did warn me that the next next trimester is going to be the hardest to keep the weight off, since I only have about 12 more pounds that I can gain before it becomes too much weight to gain. Okay, so let's get into best moments of this week. The best moment of this week was that Jeff actually got to feel baby for the first time, and it was just really special to me. Jeff and I read to baby every night, but we take turns. So I'll read one night, Jeff will read the next night, and so forth. And baby only kicks or moves around when Jeff is reading to him. He doesn't care that I read to him. He's like, whatever, mom, like, you're boring, you're old news, I hear you all the time. But whenever Jeff reads to him, he goes crazy. So this week while Jeff was reading, I put his hand on my belly and he was able to feel it. It was pretty light, and it was one of those, I think, yeah, that was it. I felt it. It wasn't like, oh my God, that was so hard or anything like that. It was pretty light, but he did get to feel it, and it was just a really treasured moment for me. So that was my favorite moment of this week. My sisters also got to feel baby move, but they're not my favorite moment of this week. Sorry. And then worst moment of this week is that this week I have been waking up at the witching hour at 3 a.m. every day, ready to go. I'm just like hyped, ready to go, get out of bed. I'm so energized, and baby's kicking around crazy, and it's 3 a.m. So I lay there for about 45 minutes and then I fall back asleep. But then I'm exhausted when I wake up, when it's time to wake up. So it's just been slightly difficult, to say the least. I'm hoping that this does not become a permanent thing, that I stop waking up at 3 in the morning. Sometimes it's like 2:45, sometimes it's like 3:15, but it's always around 3. And being so energized, I need to not be very energized at 3. Okay, so that was the worst. That's been the worst moment this whole week, is that I'm not able to get a full night's sleep. Okay, so let's get into measurements. So before I lift up my shirt, my sister told me that I look a lot more pregnant when I have clothes on and not when I don't have the clothes on. So this is what my belly looks like clothed, and I will agree that it does look like an actual pregnant belly when I do have clothes on. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so my belly right now is measuring at 42. So that's actually 1/4 of an inch less than it was last week. And then, let's see what we're doing this way. We're still at 15.5 going this way. I lost 1/4 of an inch around, and I have stayed the same lengthwise, I guess, which is kind of weird. But it is looking like a more pronounced baby bump than just flabby flab. So those are my measurements for this week. The doctor also said that my measurements for my belly are coinciding perfectly with how big baby should be. So baby's just doing great on his own. I'm not doing anything and baby's doing great. So this is working out. Motherhood's great. We are gonna go over baby names. This is not a comprehensive list of the baby names we are thinking of. We have about 20 on the list so far. And when I say so far, we haven't really found one that we're like, that is the name. These are just names that were, this list of names are basically, I have agreed that I would be okay having a son named that, and Jeff has also agreed that he would be okay having a son named that, but we have not really said that's the name. So I was just gonna every week go through 3 names and just see what y'all think if you wanted to participate. Okay, so the first name is Egan, and that is Celtic, and it means little fire or fiery person, which I like the meaning of the name more than I like the name. Baby moves around constantly, and he has been moving around constantly since we could see him in the first ultrasound. Like every ultrasound tech we have had has been like, oh wow, your baby moves a lot. Like usually they don't move this much. So I just really like that fiery person. It already kind of matches his personality or what he's like already, but not super in love with the name Egan. It is Celtic, and I do want some kind of name like that. Okay, so the second one is Leonidas. So Leonidas means lion. It is from Greek, and it is actually my favorite type of rose. I'll put a picture somewhere of the kind of rose that it is, but it is my favorite type of rose. So I just thought that was cute. It means lion, it's a strong name. Maybe he'll get a 8-pack abs like 300 guys did, you know? Maybe not. But I also like that it has ties to something that's my favorite. And then the last one for this week is Atticus. So Atticus is Latin, and it basically means from Attica. So I'm not really fond of the actual meaning of the name, but I do like how Atticus sounds. I think it sounds really like, I don't know, posh or different. It's different. You don't know very many Atticuses. So those are the 3 names. So for week 23, what's happening? So in week 23, baby will continue to move constantly, trying to learn all of his reflexes and gain more mobility over his movements, and is actually developing veins and arteries. So his skin right now is pretty much transparent, but it's starting to gain a red hue to it because of the development of the veins and arteries that are happening in his skin and lungs. So once that happens, then the pigmentation will come in after. So that's what's happening in week 23, and I will see you with that recap next week. Bye.